I'm joined by Matthew Coates, my buddy Matthew Coates, who entrepreneur. I've known him for a long time. This is going to be a fun interview. You know why? Because he has one of those very unique careers that I think it's unique in the marketplace. He's on Bainbridge Island, where I live. Don't usually hang out with people from Bainbridge, but he's one of the guys I hang out with. Anyway, I'm so excited about this, and we're going to be around hanging out for half an hour. He's going to add some value talking about entrepreneurialism, maybe some marketing. He's got some unique ideas about marketing. I think that's why his practice has grown to what it is today. And then also cool design stuff. And I think he even has a new entity I don't know about. Matthew, what's up?
What is up, Kenner? Good to be here. Great to see you as always. Where are you? Are you down in Vegas or where are you?
Right now I'm at home. I'm at the
Okay.
office on Bainbridge.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Glad to have you home.
Well, thanks. Nice to be home. So, Matthew, tell us a little bit about your background. It's a killer background. Go ahead and tell us, you know, where were you at birth, all the way to no, not really, but what's your deal?
So originally I'm from northern Michigan. Uh, Grew up, raised there. Ended up going to college at Lawrence Tech down in Southfield, Michigan. Studied architecture. I'm an architect now. And I've had my own practice here in the Seattle area on Bainbridge for, gosh, Kenner, it's like 20 years, man.
Yeah. You still look like you're not even 20 years old, but, you've been around
Uh,
for a while.
I appreciate that. Yeah. The gray is creeping in, so, but it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I know. Alright, so, okay, you're an architect. Tell me a little bit about what made you decide. I'm assuming you're still on your own, actually, I know you are.
Yeah.
What made you kinda decide to become an entrepreneur, step out on your own?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it takes a certain kind of person to want to take that risk. And it certainly is a leap of faith, but I've always sort of felt that, I wasn't very employable. I never liked working for other people, you know? I always I always thought, and I wasn't sometimes I was right, sometimes I wasn't, but I always thought that I had a better vision, a better way of doing things, or better, responses to, challenges that we'd run into. Um, and so it was hard for me to work for other people because I felt like I had better solutions than them and a better way of approaching things. And so whether that's true or not, I'm not sure, but that's really what prompted me to just be like, I need to just work for myself and follow my own vision, and took that leap of faith. And since I know we're here talking about entrepreneurialism, I think the biggest mistake that people who do go out on their own or try to start a company or try to start some business venture, the biggest mistake they made, and I was very careful not to do it, is that they do it kind of half-assed. It's
Mm,
like they try to keep one foot in and one foot out, and they're trying to, be really cautious about it because they don't want to take on any risk.
mhm.
And I think that's the reason that people fail is because they allow themselves the room to fail. I
Mm,
think if you really want to succeed, you really have to put yourself in a position where failure is not an option, where
mm.
you have to succeed, and if you have to succeed, you will, because you'll do whatever it is you need to do in order to make that happen.
Wow. It's kinda like, have you seen Hunt for Red October?
Yeah,
When what's his face? The Russian captain sends a letter home saying, "Hey, we're defecting."
yeah.
He had to succeed. Ramius
Have
had to
to.
succeed. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. That's a very good point.
There's no out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think,
yeah,
by the way, most of the people who are watching this, some are going to be from Bainbridge. Most are going to
yeah,
be from outside of Washington State. They're entrepreneurs, usually real estate investors. A lot of real estate developers. I think that's a really good point. We just
yeah.
said. I think that's huge. Actually, it's really big.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.
All right. So, would you say at any point you've said, "Oh man, sometimes it's tough being an entrepreneur"? What are your thoughts there, and how do you
Oh,
overcome that?
yeah, I mean, that's happened many points. I think for me, having been in my own, company, grown from, like, just me at a desk in my house to, 18 people, over the years, there've been lots of phases that we've kind
Mhm.
of gone through. And some of those phases, the transitions between one phase to the next can be really challenging.
Mm,
You just run into some issues that, you didn't even think were there. And I think it's different every time, but the key is being able to adapt to change. I think that is the number one secret to success for any entrepreneur or business owner is be ready to adapt to change. If you can't adapt, you'll die. I mean,
Mhm.
it's true in nature and it's true in business as well. Things are constantly changing, things are constantly evolving, and you got to be ready and able to move and shift and change. We saw that happen. Like, here's some good examples. Like when the pandemic hit, we saw how some restaurants and food service companies totally changed their delivery model.
Mhm.
You know, they moved to takeout, or they did a little kiosk in their parking lot, or what. Some even changed the type of food they offer,
Mhm.
and those restaurants survived. But
Yeah.
the ones who just couldn't figure it out, they're gone.
Mhm.
You know, and that's a perfect example. I think being able to adapt to change is critical. And in my business, the one thing that I'm all over right now is artificial intelligence.
Yep,
What
yep.
that's going to do to my business. There's a lot of architects and other businesses as well, or not businesses, but other avenues like music. I have a lot of people I know in the music business. I know people who are attorneys. I know people who are writers. They're all these businesses are going to be upended by AI at some point in
Mhm.
some way. Graphic designers, like I have a friend who owns a really successful graphic design business, and their business is suffering right now because you can just get online and type in a few words, and boom, you got like 100 different logos for your company, right?
All for free.
All for free. And so it's like, why would you pay a graphic designer to do that? Yeah, it's more custom, but is it as good as free? I don't know. you
Yeah,
know?
that's a good point. You get what you pay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, for my business, it's like, I mean, already we're seeing imagery of buildings being created.
Mhm.
We're not seeing actual designs yet, what I would call a design, but we're seeing imagery of buildings. And so I'm all over it. I'm really interested to see what happens with this and where we're going to go with it.
Mhm.
I've been heavily invested in virtual reality and augmented reality for many years now,
Mhm.
and that, incidentally served us really well during the pandemic, because when every other architect, was just doing meetings on Teams and they couldn't meet with their clients, I was doing in-person real-time meetings in VR, and our clients could be at home, I could be at home, and we were meeting inside virtual space inside their house, walking around and talking. And so
Mm.
anyway, I'm just super interested to see where this goes.
That's my boy. I like that. As you know, we've been doing
Yeah.
artificial intelligence for a long time, and we've
Yeah.
utilized it on our platform Einstein. So, and I know you're way into technology. So, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about AI. How you're going to? I'm going to get straight to it. So, what are you going to do in employing AI to build your business or to make it more profitable, more unique, or whatever? That's an important question because I know you're so advanced as far as technology.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a specific answer. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still
Mm.
thinking about it every day. I think, you know, within that question is an assumption that I'll continue doing, or architecture and design will continue the way it is, more or less. And I don't know that that's even true. I
Really?
think, yeah, I don't even know if that's true. Like, maybe we're going to become more the, the captain of that software program. So we use a program right now called Revit. It's owned by Autodesk, and it's really robust. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with
Hmm.
it,
I've heard of it.
including,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, VR. Everything's in 3D.
Hmm.
So I can totally see where at some point we become the driver of the software that creates the
Hmm.
design options through using AI. We put in certain criteria, and the building just gets designed, and we see like 12 different ways that it could be laid out.
Hmm.
um, but from a business point of view, I'm looking at that and saying, well, how are we going to continue to make money or even make more money? And I don't have an answer yet. I think that architects need to consider looking into more uh, the designing the products that go into homes. That's what I'm doing,
Hmm.
and also looking at more of the actual construction and how AI is going to influence the actual construction. I feel like we're kind of entering a phase where architecture and construction is going to start coming back together like it was back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. Um,
Hmm,
a little bit. I'm not saying entirely. I feel like there's a trend towards that right now.
hmm, hmm. Okay, interesting. There's two things I really appreciate. There's a lot of things I appreciate about you, but number one, I think your use of technology. I think you're way ahead of the market in that. And then two, marketing. I personally, we have some architects or some clients, and I think you push the envelope in a good way as far as marketing goes. Why don't you take a little bit of time talking about your marketing efforts
Mhm.
in the past and kind of where you are as far as marketing? Because I know it works.
I appreciate that, Kenner. Have you seen our new website?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that's partially why you're on this, because I saw the link that you emailed to me, and
Okay.
I looked, I'm like, "Stud." There was some stuff on there I didn't know that you even did, so,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, please tell us where to go.
So, in terms of, marketing is sort of I have a love-hate relationship with marketing.
Hmm,
Like, it's just like, I've never saw myself as I mean, people use that word kind of loosely sometimes, but it
mm,
can have a kind of a negative connotation. For me, it's just, I do what I do and I do it well.
mhm,
And sharing that with other people, is that marketing? I
mhm.
guess it's
So
marketing.
you're a marketer. Compared to most, architects, that's funny you say that. You're a marketer. I consider you that.
Yeah. So I think this new website and this new direction we're going in terms of our brand, it's not a complete change. It's just it's an accentuation of the soul of the company and the beliefs that I have about architecture. So if you go to the website now, you know, the experience that I wanted people to have is I wanted it to uncover the beauty and the mystery behind nature and the built environment. So when you go to the homepage, it's a mix of photos of nature, and then you see buildings inside nature, and you realize, we're part of nature. The shelter that we create is actually profound if you think about it, because without it, like, what do we have? And yet we have this opportunity to make, these luxurious buildings out of really just space and parts and pieces. And I tried to bring out the beauty and that mystery with the new website. And the other thing I really tried to do, I guess, from a marketing point of view, is like almost reverse marketing. Like,
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of marketing people that would say that my approach is the opposite of what they would do, but I didn't want to ask my viewer for anything. There's nowhere on my new website where I'm asking somebody to do anything. I'm not trying to sell anything.
Totally, I noticed that.
I'm not selling anything. I'm just showing you what we do. And I'm not asking you to pay attention. I'm not asking you to contact me. I don't say please do this anywhere. It's just an experience. It's like, because the reason is, and I guess I'm fortunate at this point in my career, like, I don't there's only certain types of people and projects that I want to do at this point.
Mm,
And so those people, if the right people will come to me, they'll figure it out,
yeah,
right?
I
It's
understand.
like I think that all of our clients are smart people, and if they like what they see, they will make an effort to contact me and figure it out. So, like,
Mhm,
I truly believe in that. Like, I don't want to create necessarily a barrier, but I kind of do, because it's like, if you're not willing to make a little bit of effort to make to engage with me, then we're probably not a good fit anyway. So in that way, I'm kind
yeah.
of filtering out who we work with. So for example, like, we take out a full page ad, always have, in the Pacific Northwest Bainbridge magazine,
Mhm.
because it's local and I feel like I want to support the
Support the
community,
local, yeah,
local business, whatever. I don't think we've ever had someone come to us like, oh, I saw your ad and I want to hire you because of your ad. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened,
yeah,
but it's being present in people's consciousness is really what it's about. And for me, it's a page that I get to show the community how powerful architecture can be, and that's really it.
mhm,
If you look at that ad, it's just a picture and a logo.
mhm,
There's no website, there's no phone number, there's no call me now, there's no, free consultation. No, you're not going to see any of that on my
yeah.
ad. Like, it's just a picture and a logo. That's it.
Clearly, Clearly, you're not trying to sell anything on that. You haven't even mentioned the website. What is the website?
uh, coatesdesign.com.
And how do you spell that just in case?
It's my name, Coates, Coates. It's right there on the screen. Co- isn't it in the lower left? It says Matthew Coates. It's like Coat.
Dude, I don't know. Some of the people might actually, the one person watching or listening to this
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
might say, "Oh, I want to use some of his services. He's the man." So,
yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome. So yeah, coatesdesign.com. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
all
I
right.
mean, even if you just want to see an interesting website, like check it out because when we designed it, I worked with a really awesome company. Their name is at the bottom there, and I interviewed probably a dozen different web design companies because there's tons of them out there, and I tried to scare them. Uh,
What do you mean by that? That's pretty funny.
well, I tried to set the bar so high that most people would just not even try to jump it.
You mean to work with you? You mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So I
yeah.
just I said to all of them, I said the same thing. I said, I don't want you to come to a meeting with me and ask me or show me a bunch of other architects' websites and ask me which one I want to be like. Like, if you do that, it'll really piss me off. I said, what I want to do is you can go ahead and inform yourself about what's out there in terms of design, but I want to completely leapfrog every other architect that's out there, every other designer, I want this experience to be something completely different, something completely new that's never been done before as
Hmm.
much as possible. Like I don't want to be like any other architect. I don't want this website to look like every other architect. That will really piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
And so we set some ground rules, and those were the ground rules. Don't ask for anything. Don't sell anything. Just share the experience and the power of architecture. Really, that's what the website is. And it's like if people feel if that resonates with people, they'll reach out.
Uh,
They'll reach out.
I totally
I
get where
have
you.
faith in that.
For so many years, we were like that too. We were making it kind of hard for people to get a hold of us. We've changed that since, but
Yeah,
believe it or not, I totally get it. If
yeah,
people get to you, they are serious, and
yeah,
that's kind of what you want, especially in
yeah.
your world, the high ticket world, probably.
Yeah, it is, and I don't want to grow into some big company because I want to maintain the quality of what we're doing. Attention to detail, high level
Mhm.
of customer service. Um, yeah,
So we have roughly somewhere around 2,000 real estate agents who are going to be receiving this podcast or either video or audio. So what would you tell them is kind of your niche, if you will, as far as architecture goes?
well, first of all, it's not niche, it's niche. I always thought it was niche. And I got into an argument with someone. It's like, oh no, it's niche. And so I had to look at the epidemiology or whatever the word for where a word comes from.
Yeah.
And I dug. It's niche. I was wrong, and so I just feel like I need to correct you because
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you did.
anytime
That's
I
pretty
get a
point.
chance to tell you you're wrong, I'm gonna take it. I'm just kidding.
That's
You see
good.
my dog back there
Let me see.
in the video?
Well, can you point the camera a little bit?
He's taking a nap.
Ladies and gentlemen, that might be the biggest dog I've ever seen, and it's a gentle young lad.
Yeah, he's a Great Dane. Anyway, what was the question? What was my niche?
Or niche is said incorrectly, yeah.
So, boy, I don't know that I have a niche other than just
Hmm.
being thoughtful, careful listener, translator of vision. I can design anything. Um, I think high-end residential is really the niche, I guess,
Is
if
it?
you
Is it?
want to say. I mean, we certainly do multifamily. We do some affordable housing. Um, that stuff is more just because I think it's important to do that.
Mhm.
At some level, here's what I love about architecture, okay? Is like being an architect is like you no matter what building I design, I end up kind of becoming a little bit of what that building does. Like,
Mhm.
example, if I design a dentist's office, which I've done a few, I kinda have to know a lot about being a dentist,
Mhm.
and I absorb a lot of that information. It's really interesting. If I do a veterinary clinic, which I've done, you end up learning a lot about vets. If if I design a school, I learn about what it's like to be a teacher or a student. And so I really like that aspect of what I do. And the reality is that, there's a piece of what I do that is just a service to the community. Just like
Mhm.
if you have a drain that's clogged, you call a plumber. If you have a chimney that is full of soot, you call a chimney sweep, right? It's like
Mhm.
at some level, I'm just a person who designs shelter. And so I
Hmm.
think it's important because I believe in social justice projects being a really
Mm.
important part of the fabric of our culture,
Mhm.
especially as architects, because we have at some level we have a duty not just to design these amazing $2,000 square foot fancy houses. We also have a duty to provide housing for everyone for equality and I think so. We do affordable housing projects. We subsidize our fee. I just did the ReHome Project here on the island, which was
Mhm.
totally pro bono. Uh,
Holy mackerel, are you serious?
yeah, I wanted to prove that because we have an affordable housing problem, but we also have a construction waste problem. And so I wanted to do a demonstration project that sort of addressed both of those issues. So we
Mm.
designed and built 3 tiny homes made completely out of unwanted, material, either
Okay.
reused, repurposed, for some reason headed for the landfill. We built these 3 buildings all with material like that. Everything, every nail, every bucket of paint, everything was, waste essentially.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
kind of changed this idea of waste and turned it into something as a resource. So we did that project and it went pretty well. I think it's the rehomeproject.com, I
Mhm.
think is the website. You can learn more about that. But so I do a lot of high end residential work, but I also have a passion for doing affordable housing just because I think it's part of our duty. You know that
Mhm.
saying?
Dude, you're a good guy. You're really you're
You,
you're a
you
salt of
know,
the earth
Kenner,
type of
you're
guy.
not so bad yourself.
Nah, look.
I don't care what people say about you. I don't care. I don't listen to them.
Nice. We have about 5 minutes left. I don't wanna take too much of your time. How about this? What would you say to an
Yeah.
entrepreneur ah, cite one thing you would think you would have done differently now that you've been in business for a while. What's one thing you wish you would have changed now looking back?
One thing I would have changed. I don't know I would change anything. I mean, I think
Ooh.
you have to learn the lessons you're gonna learn, and, I've always been that way, me personally. I've always been people can tell me stuff like, "Oh, you don't wanna," but the reality is I've always been the person that has to experience it myself.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could say I wanna work harder, but I work pretty hard as it is.
Mhm.
Um, maybe I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I mean, I've been fortunate that we've been, pretty successful. I do what I love to do, which I
Mhm.
think a lot of people can't say that. Um, I don't think there's anything I would change.
Yeah, you're a blessed guy. I mean, I would say that from the outside looking in. I know you well enough. I could say you're a blessed guy. You got a great family, got a great dog.
Yeah,
You got some good friends. You
appreciate it.
got a good life. There's no doubt about that.
There was one thing that okay, if I have a sales pitch, is this little thing I want to talk to you because you have a lot of real estate people. So
Oh,
I love.
93%
Oh
of our clients and prospects are real estate investors. We have
yeah,
12,000 people at least in our database. So yeah.
yeah. So I love real estate. I don't know. I think you know that, but we work a lot with realtors that I have personal relationships with that like if they have a client who's like on the fence about buying a property for whatever reason, and they think there might be a project there for me,
Mhm.
and it's significant. Like I'm not talking about like some little bathroom remodel. I'm talking about like it's potentially a significant project, and their client's kind of on the fence. I tell them just call me. I'll come out, walk the property with them. I'll wave
Mm.
my hands. I'll give them a vision and I will get them over the fence. Like and I do it. Because I can immediately walk into a space and see something, right? I know if a place has potential. I can talk about it in a way that people understand and really translate, what might look like a dilapidated building or an empty piece of property, and talk about a vision that can get people excited. And so I do that for realtors all the time. Um,
Well,
I'm happy to do it for people who think they have a significant project that there might be something there, you know, to team up on, I guess.
let's unwrap that a little bit. We only have a
Yeah.
minute, but so wait a minute. What does that mean? By the way, most of our clients are all over the country. Very few
Yeah,
are.
it doesn't matter.
So, are you
For
saying you could do that virtually?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Okay.
I just did a 6-unit condo project for some guy in South Carolina. Never met him. I mean, we talked on, I just, I, we do work all over the world, actually. We just designed a cool project in the Philippines.
Mhm.
But yeah, these days I can work anywhere. We just work virtually. It doesn't matter. Do it
Okay.
all the time.
Okay, then, I'm glad you mentioned that because 'cause I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. We have a lot of people in our database, a lot of people who are gonna get
Oh, that's
this, and
cool.
hopefully so and,
Yeah.
most of them. I mean, we have, off the top of my head, as part of our quasi team, 1,800, real estate agents, independent real estate agents, so
Yeah,
they'll
so
be getting.
the way that what that would look like is basically I'll look at the listing, right, the MLS. I'll look at the pictures. I'll look at it online. I might even look it up on like the permitting website, see what kind of zoning and all that kind of stuff. And then
Mhm,
we would typically do like a FaceTime
mhm,
walkthrough, like in real time, so I can
mhm,
like engage, ask questions, have a conversation. Like, what are you planning to do with this? Are you going to keep this, invest, whatever, flip it, whatever? And so what we would do like a FaceTime walkthrough. If it's close enough, I will always go there. If it's on Bainbridge or in Seattle, I just go and do it in person. But I mean, it's so effective. I mean,
hmm,
it's just as good as being there, honestly. Um, Sometimes you see things that you wouldn't see otherwise. I mean, it's really helpful.
yep,
Um, so I can totally do that and get a really good vision for what's going on. I mean, obviously, the more information I have, the better, right?
mhm,
If there's a survey, if there's structural analysis that's been done. Um, the only place it gets kind of tricky in my experience is like when I want to see into some place really dark, like show me what's in the crawl space. Like, is
mhm,
there a vapor barrier down there? What's the structure look like? Or up in the attic, because the lighting is everything. So sometimes that's a problem.
mhm,
But anyway, that's part of the service we provide, is just helping with that initial vision that people might be lacking or just need some new ideas for something. We do it often, and that usually leads to like a feasibility study,
mhm,
which is kind of a low commitment thing. It's an easy thing for us to do,
mhm,
but then it's like, okay, well, if we were to do that, how long would it take? What would it look like? And how much would it cost? Everyone wants to know that, right,
yep,
before they
yep,
buy
yep.
the property. And so we can do a kind of a loosey goosey, quick and dirty feasibility analysis and get people to where they need to be to make a decision.
That's a good value add. I didn't even know you did that. So, and how does someone get a hold of you if they're inclined to do that?
Uh, Best places, yeah, through the website. Obviously our phone number's online. Call. Just Google. Google's your friend.
Alright. I get it, I get it. Well, Matthew, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad we've been able to do this. Glad
Yeah, it was
I've
fun, man.
cherished the friendship. It's been a great friendship, over all these years.
Sounds good. Appreciate you, man.
Alright, man. Hey, to everyone else, vastsolutionsgroup.com if you need anything, tax, finance, AI, we're the group. Matthew, again, thank you very much.
Take it easy.